Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this news comes from London. It's about the anti-lockdown protests that are occurring. I really appreciate it if you share this video, as YouTube will not suggest it as much. Anytime we talk about this subject, the videos get no adverts and will not be recommended as much in the algorithm, so it really is down to you to share the news and also to support the channel. Thank you to our reporter Dave Nathan, who went to the scene in Clapham in South London. At first, we'll talk about what the papers have said. We'll reference two newspapers, the Evening Standard and the Daily Mail as well, due to the fact that the Metropolitan Police didn't release an official statement on their website, only their Twitter, and also to try to find out exactly what the facts are about what happened. The Evening Standard, whose editor-in-chief is the former Chancellor George Osborne, said that 16 people were arrested, 22 fines were issued, and around 30 people were gathered on the high street. As our footage shows you, there was definitely more than 30 people. So a paper that's editor is the former Chancellor, you'd imagine the calculations should have been better. They said people were walking down the high street chanting, "Take your freedom back." Fellow members of the public responded with fury, with one woman shouting from her car, "There's a pandemic going on, you TWATSs." The protest took place after the capital's Mayor Sadiq Khan declared that it was a major incident, as the rising tide of cases threatens to overwhelm the capital's households and also the NHS. The Metropolitan Police said 16 demonstrators had breached COVID regulations, and the force added 22 fixed penalty notices were also issued. Dozens of officers were deployed to Clapham Common to try to contain the protest that was organised by a group called StandupX. So then we'll go to the coverage from what the Daily Mail said. The Daily Mail said there was 12 people that was held as lockdown protests commenced in Clapham Common. So there was 4 people less in the Daily Mail's numbers. But the Daily Mail also goes on to say that other demonstrations were held in Newcastle and Bournemouth, where activists were detained by police as confrontations broke out. They said in Clapham that they reached the Argos store, and a video is broadcast online that showed the scuffles between protesters and the police, as one man appears to be arrested. At least 10 officers could be seen surrounding the protesters. As the majority of the UK has gone into Tier 4 lockdown measures, this means that Britons have to stay at home unless it's exercise or going to work, if they cannot work from home. As a certain virus that I'd rather not say on the channel, due to the fact that even if you mention the name, it will stop your video getting recommended. The police issued a statement to say they would take appropriate force when anybody tries to breach coronavirus rules during the pandemic. The papers also said that this was promoted on Twitter, where the march was said to meet in Clapham Common at 12 o'clock. It says that if you're fed up of lockdown, new legislations and 97% false information from RT-PCR tests, and also exaggerated death figures, losing your business, extended hospital appointments, then march with us tomorrow. The Met said on Twitter that 5 people have been arrested during the protests in Clapham Common today. Following a gathering, Londoners were told to avoid any protests, and the Metropolitan Police strongly advised against large gatherings. So this is not the first anti-lockdown protest we've had and covered, and I'm sure it won't be the last. And we'll definitely keep you updated with anything that comes from this story. In other lockdown-related news, Tier4 Restrictions has found 30 men being fined for attending a social club and playing cards. This happened in the Stoke and Newington area in Hackney, and police said they entered the venue to find a dozen men in breach of coronavirus restrictions. All 30 men were issued with fixed penalty notices, and Hackney Council have advised the owner to stay shut. Police said that our officers are working incredibly hard and putting themselves at risk in order to try to keep the virus under control in Hackney and Tower Hamlets. It's very disappointing to see that people are breaching these rules in order to play cards with friends instead of staying at home and playing online.
What are you doing?
Hi, are you alright? Do you speak English?
Right, what were you doing? Who's the owner? What name? Call him on.
So once your name's obviously been taken, you're going to have to leave. Yeah, so once you take your names, obviously leave this way, right? So everyone gets out, take stock.
And there was also an incident yesterday in the South London area in Plumstead. A man has been arrested and 3 suspected firearms have been found after police attended a hotel after threats were made on social media. Officers were called at 9:10 on Sunday the 10th of January, and they were told by 2 people that they'd been contacted by a man they knew, and they told the police he'd made threats to them over a social media app believed to be WhatsApp, and he showed them a firearm during the altercation. An immediate operation began to trace the man, who was suspected of staying in a hotel somewhere in southeast London. Through extensive inquiries, a possible location of the man was found, and the operation went to try to apprehend him before anybody got hurt. Officers forced their way into the hotel room in Deptford at around 5 o'clock in the morning and arrested a suspect, a 25-year-old man, for making threats to kill and firearm offences. No one was injured in the arrest and no firearms were used. 2 suspected handguns and a suspected shotgun were seized and have been sent for forensic examination. The man is currently in custody at a South East London police station, and that definitely shows the dangers of social media and also having firearms. So I'd really appreciate it if you leave a comment and share the stories that we've mentioned in this video. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace.
Guys, this is an unlawful arrest. Why would you do it? I asked you to do it. Space for it, please. Don't want to be hung around. I'm fine with this, by the way, because I will chase this one forward. Absolutely unlawful. Guys, it's not kidnapping battery. Completely unlawful. I hope it is. I've recorded my own version of it as well. I will chase it. Totally unlawful. I stand under common law, not maritime law, and this is an assault.
Am I under arrest, sir? Right, so I don't have to tell you when it's...
I'm